Hey friends, Dustin here. You're watching the Life of Lynn channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Today is very special. We're going back to a project that's almost been sitting here in my shop for almost 2 years now. This is Project Aged Bourbon, as one of the subscribers has called it, because I had about 3 episodes on this after I bought it from the auction. After those 3 episodes, I hit a stopping point. And the stopping point was the front suspension was so bent I couldn't get it off. And then I got busy and forgot about it. So here we are today, back on this thing because we need to get this done because the new shop is coming along very quickly. And I gotta drive this thing out of here. And I got a mess. Look at the shop. It's a disaster. I got parts everywhere. I got building supplies. I got car parts. I got RV parts. I got tools. It's bad, guys. And as you can see, this thing is still way off the ground, and it's been sitting on those jacks for over a year now. So, a few weeks ago, I was able to get in here with the torch and the Sawzall and just cut everything out of it. We're starting over. It's getting all new control arms, upper and lower. Everything's getting replaced. Plus, we're putting a 3-inch lift on this thing, which is done on the back. If you've watched the first 2 or 3 episodes on this, you've seen how far we've come with doing body work, hanging better doors on it, because it was wrecked on this side really bad. So go check out those older episodes if you haven't seen them. But it's a sweet ride. And it used to say finish me on the side, and now it says finish him, and even that is covered in dust. You can see how thick it is. It's going to be real nice when it's done. Little 3-inch lift on a 2003 Chevy Suburban Z-71, and we got the new grill and stuff on too, and it just looks killer. I love the blacked out headlights and the bow tie. I love the painted front end on these. It's going to look really good when it's done. I've got my old takeoff tires off of the pickup truck. These are taller and more meatier than the standard size ones. You can see it's actually up on jacks right now, and that's the stock size tire back here. And these sitting on the ground are just as big as that. So that's kind of just a quick catch up of where we're at. The big thing that stopped me down here, the upper and lower control arm were so bent that they were bound and you couldn't take them apart to get them off. So I ended up having to cut every piece individually out and then pound them. And if you look close here, these ears are bent in. All of them are that way. So I got to heat this up. I'm going to get probably just my big crescent wrench out, heat them up, and just bend them until they're lined up how they're supposed to be. I'll get some measurements off the good side and the passenger side there. And we'll start putting the new upper and lower control arms in. It's getting down to the wire. Let's jump into getting these control arms put on. Got the uppers and lowers, see if we can get it all bolted back together. And we'll be back on the ground sometime soon. Let's jump into it. Guys in, show you where we're at. Got these ears all heated up and bent back to shape. Those look pretty nice and straight. Same over here. Got our upper control arm in, looking good, moving like it should. Got our cam locks up there. We haven't tightened anything up yet, so we still need to get this all together. Got the lower control arm set here. Got our torsion bar going through. Got the back in. This all looks pretty straight back here, but up here, we got buku problems. Let me get you some light. Yeah. that tab for that bracket is bent real bad. There's a bolt in there, and it goes through to the front. See, it looks pretty straight all the way until you get to that back tab, and you realize that thing's pushed back and in and then out on the sides. I tried bending it, but it really needs to be pulled on. All right, friends, it's a couple days later, and I came up with a new plan. Part of that plan is, well, put some new light bulbs in so I can actually see over here. The other part is started organizing and clearing out the shop. So we got rid of all these parts and wood and stuff. I got a few more things I got to clear out, and then we're going to back the Duramax right here, and then off the hitch. I'm going to chain it right to our little eyelet that's bent down here. And we're going to have to take it off the jack stands because it's just going to pull it right off and over. So I'm going to take it off the jack stands, put this side on a jack, and then put this tire on the ground. It's probably still going to try to pull the whole thing. Put some heat on that little bent eyelet, see if we can soften it up enough to pull it. That's the plan. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the rest of this real quick so we can back the truck in. All right, quick disclaimer, don't ever do this at home. What I have here is an aluminum bar. I've wedged it against the hitch, and I've wedged it against the mount for the upper control arm. And now I'm gonna pull this way while that stops this from sliding into my truck. That's gonna give us a lot more power. I'm gonna add some more heat again. See if we can do this safely. Probably not. We have some success. Ignore the metal shavings on the floor. We had to waller it out just a little. But bolts in there. Once I snug down that lock nut on there, that'll pinch that gap up. This one looks good over here. Those bolts both in all the way. No problem. We can start putting this thing back together now. That's great news. Now, if I could remember what I did with all the bolts and the rest of these parts. Nope, that's for the other side. Let's see where we're at. Everything is loosely bolted together. Just finger tight, you know, you can turn it. I just wanted to make sure it was all together in the right order before I bolted everything down, realized I'd have to take it off and put it back on, because, you know, guys, it's been a while since I've taken this all apart. So I think I got everything pointing in the right direction so it doesn't interfere with everything. Got some new parts on there, upper and lower control arm, tie rod end. Torsion bars in. Got our new torsion key. It's on. So once all that's bolted together, I'm gonna replace the torsion key on that side because that's part of our lift kit. Let me show you guys how these torsion keys work. Basically, the torsion bar is a really long tube of steel. It's a special heat treated hardened steel that flexes like this. So your suspension, instead of a traditional coil spring, is actually a bar that twists down on the outside of your wheel there. What gives us lift on this specific kit is, here's a factory torsion key, and it sits in there like that. This is the back of it. There's a bolt that goes right here and keeps this at the right adjustment. Now, what gives us our lift is, notice this hex head here where the torsion bar goes through. If we match that up with that one, oh, look at all this extra flex we have. That allows us to really crank the suspension down. That's going to push that passenger wheel down like that. We get everything dialed in, we take to the alignment shop, and there's nothing too bent that prevents them from getting this lined up right and looking good. Can't wait to get this thing fired up and out of here, and I think we'll be doing the painting in the new shop. Just needed to get the suspension done so we can drive it. Everything's attached, suspension's on. Front wheels look pretty straight. Look down this way, that one's pointing pretty straight. Look down this way, that one's pointing pretty straight. Let's see where our steering wheel's at. Steering wheel's about dead center. So I'm still gonna go to the alignment shop because we got a lot of stuff going on with this thing. They're gonna go through the whole thing and dial it in. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with just eyeballing it. Here's the next thing though. I haven't started this thing since it was parked here. Yeah, I don't even know if it has fuel in it. I don't think it has a battery in it. So I put a new one in it and then took it right back out. Yeah, that's missing. So I'm gonna go charge up a side post battery. I'm gonna throw that in there and see if it'll start again after sitting for over a year in this spot. Oh, we got keys. All right. Let's see what happens. Turn it to accessory. Ooh, turn all this stuff off. Off, turn that off. Okay. That fuel gauge is not moving at all. I don't know if this thing's gonna start. Let's find out. Oh, right up. Don't know why I don't have any gauges. That's bizarre. Oh, hey, hello. There they are. Driver one, that's me. It has started to snow. Winter weather wonderland outside. Everything feels good. Everything feels tight. These are not ideal conditions for a test drive. Visibility is not great. All right, I'm gonna get on the road here. See how she does. Well, successful fire up after sitting for over a year, and still runs pretty good. Got some good fuel in it now. Next time, when we're not in a blizzard and I don't have to get home because I got to drive on a highway for 30 minutes to get to my house, we're going to go ahead and jump into doing an oil change, giving it a little tune-up, and exploring the last couple things we need to do before we start on the body work on this thing. But the important thing is we got it back together so I can drive it and it can leave this shop, because we're down to the last 3 weeks in this shop, and, well, as you can see from the pile of stuff that's still in here, we got a lot to do. So glad you guys came with me on this update. Again, it's been over a year since I posted a video on this thing. It's just been sitting. I'm so glad that went fairly well-ish, and we got the job done. Thanks again to you guys for watching. We had a huge subscriber milestone this year. 40,000 of you guys already. It's really nice. I really appreciate it. If you guys hit the like button on the video, shoot a comment down below. That helps me out too. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider it. Thanks again for watching, guys. God bless you. We'll see you next time.